Imagine this. You're standing in a gleaming tech campus in Silicon Valley. Glass towers shimmer in the sunlight, coders race to meet deadlines. AI algorithms evolve behind the scenes, and billion-dollar ideas are born over oat milk lattes. Suddenly, amidst this futuristic frenzy, a figure in a tattered robe walks in, barefoot, bearded, and quietly asking, "But is it good?" That man is Socrates. Now picture him sitting across from a tech CEO, questioning every assumption, every claim, and every mission statement. "What is progress?" he asks. "What is the purpose of knowledge if it lacks virtue?" This is not just a thought experiment. It's a pressing question for our time. Welcome to The Unfolding Journey, the channel where ancient wisdom meets modern dilemmas, where philosophy isn't just a field of study, but a way of navigating the complex world around us. If you've ever asked deeper questions about the direction of our society, the values embedded in our technology, or what it truly means to innovate with conscience, you're in the right place. Let's unfold this journey together. Socrates was, in many ways, the original disruptor, not of technology, but of complacency. In ancient Athens, he walked the streets, challenging sophists, politicians, and ordinary citizens to examine their beliefs. He didn't write books. He didn't claim to have answers. He simply asked uncomfortable, revealing questions that forced people to reflect on their assumptions. Now fast forward 2,400 years. The disruptors are no longer in togas, but in hoodies. Their tools aren't words, but code. And the agora has become the algorithm. But what would Socrates say if he were here today? Silicon Valley thrives on a simple mantra: move fast and break things. It values innovation, scale, and disruption. But this rapid momentum often leaves a vital element in the dust: ethics. Tech giants have changed how we work, communicate, and even think. But they've also brought challenges. AI systems that reinforce bias, social media platforms that profit from division, surveillance tools that erode privacy, data mining that treats people as commodities. Socrates would likely pause here and ask, what is innovation for? Who does it serve? And what do we mean by good? He wouldn't be against progress, but he'd demand a deeper reflection about its impact on the soul, both individual and societal. In the tech world, ethics is often treated as a bug fix, not a design principle. It's something added after the product scales, once the PR disaster hits or regulatory pressure mounts. But Socrates believed in something far more radical: that the examined life is the only life worth living. Applied to tech, this means the examined code, the examined design, the examined intention. What if we built systems that asked ethical questions at the foundation? What if we treated ethical inquiry not as a barrier to progress, but as its guiding light? The Socratic method is built on dialogue, doubt, and critical thinking. The startup pitch, on the other hand, thrives on certainty, confidence, and disruption. These cultures clash. Socrates might be the worst person to bring into a board meeting, constantly questioning ROI, user metrics, and product market fit. But perhaps he'd be the most necessary. Because in a world where success is defined by growth curves and exits, someone needs to ask, at what cost? AI is perhaps the most powerful innovation of our time. It predicts our preferences, automates decisions, and increasingly acts on our behalf. But just as the Oracle of Delphi spoke in riddles that required interpretation, today's algorithms operate in black boxes. We ask them for answers: what to watch, who to hire, how to police, and even what to believe. Socrates would be alarmed by this blind faith. He'd ask, do we understand the forces shaping our choices? Are we outsourcing not just labor, but morality? And most importantly, can we be free if we do not understand what guides us? AI is perhaps the most powerful innovation of our time. It predicts our preferences, automates decisions, and increasingly acts on our behalf. But just as the Oracle of Delphi spoke in riddles that required interpretation, today's algorithms operate in black boxes. We ask them for answers: what to watch, who to hire, how to police, and even what to believe. Socrates would be alarmed by this blind faith. He'd ask, do we understand the forces shaping our choices? Are we outsourcing not just labor, but morality? And most importantly, can we be free if we do not understand what guides us? Disruption is the buzzword of the century, but to disrupt something is to break it. That's not always a bad thing, but it is a powerful thing. And with power comes responsibility. Socrates would ask, should we break systems before understanding them? What happens to those who cannot adapt to this pace of change? Do we mistake novelty for virtue? And perhaps the hardest question of all, are we solving problems or merely creating new ones in disguise? Silicon Valley often operates under techno-optimism, the belief that every problem has a technical solution. But philosophy brings a different energy, humility. It doesn't reject technology. It just recognizes that not all problems are technical. Some are human, some are moral, some require sitting with discomfort rather than coding it away. Socrates reminds us that wisdom begins with admitting what we don't know. In the pursuit of efficiency, we often overlook the human experience. Automation replaces jobs. Notifications fragment attention. Algorithms shape our desires. And yet, all of this is justified in the name of user engagement or growth. Socrates would say, "You are trading reflection for reaction, attention for addiction. Is that a life well lived?" And he'd be right to ask, where is the room for soul, for silence, for slow thought? Perhaps it's time to create a new archetype, not just the visionary coder or the billionaire founder, but the ethical technologist. Someone who not only builds, but also questions, who thinks not just about scale, but about meaning. This isn't just idealism. It's necessity. As our tools gain power, we must also elevate our responsibility. That's not a constraint on innovation. It's what gives it depth. If Socrates walked through Silicon Valley today, he wouldn't be impressed by product demos or VC valuations. He'd care about one thing. Are we living examined lives? Are we creating a world worth inheriting? Not just one that dazzles, but one that nourishes the soul? And maybe that's the question each of us needs to carry, not just as developers or designers or users, but as humans. What is the good life? And how does technology help or hinder our pursuit of it? If this kind of reflection speaks to you, if you believe that we need more conversations at the intersection of philosophy and technology, then hit that subscribe button and join us here on the unfolding journey. Every week, we'll explore ideas that challenge, provoke, and hopefully inspire a deeper understanding of the world we're shaping together. Because it's not just about where we're going with technology, it's about who we are becoming along the way. So if you're ready to explore the questions that matter, the ones that don't always have easy answers, then this is your space. A space for thinkers, creators, builders, and skeptics. A space where wisdom meets innovation. White heavy checkmark subscribe to the unfolding journey. Bell hit the bell so you never miss a new episode. Speech balloon and let us know in the comments. What do you think Socrates would challenge in today's tech culture? Remember, the future isn't just coded in machines. It's coded in meaning. Until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and never stop unfolding.